everyone, welcome. It's Shanna. Now today we're working with Susan Tierney Cochran's hydrangea etched die set here, and you've just got the 4 pieces. It's not a lot of pieces, but there are a lot of pieces that result from it because it does a whole bunch of die cutting. We're also going to bring in the emerald labels and tags die set from Spellbinders, and I've created a shaped card base, and I have created a panel in which I've embossed it with the lattice embossing folder, and I've also created a frame that's going to go around it. So first I'm just going to get this panel laid down on my card base and get it positioned nice and neatly, and this will be the basis for where we're going to put our hydrangeas. And next, I'm going to show you how I curled my hydrangeas. You're just going to take your tweezers and press down on your petals, and then just roll them around your tweezer. And that will be how you're doing it. And I'm just showing you a couple of them. I've already done, I don't know, 38 other ones and have them all curled and ready to go, but I wanted to show you how you do that. And now we've got the bases that our hydrangeas are going to lay on, and there's 3 pieces to each base. I'm going to create 2 bases here, and I'm just taking my magnet from my glass mat, and I'm creating a dome, and I'm using my palm to kind of create that shape, and I'm just pushing it into that and just creating a dome that I'm going to lay my base on. And now you have 2 more pieces, a medium and a small, that you're going to do that with. And I'm going to bring in a stylist, and I've got a smaller one there. And I'm just going to kind of create the same thing, like a dome, with this medium-sized piece, and just kind of pressing it into my palm and shaping it to where I can get the desired shape that I want. And then for the little one, we're going to do the same thing, only I'll just use my fingers and just kind of allow my fingers to kind of create that dome around there. And I've got, like I said, 2 sets of these because I'm going to make 2 bushels of hydrangeas. And I'm just checking where I want it to fit so that I can get my frame around there when I'm done. So I'm going to do that. Now the middle piece actually goes on the bottom. It's going to kind of create like a dome that the top one can lay up against to kind of provide some support for it. And then you're just going to lay this over the top of it. And I'm just pressing down on the edges with my fingers to get it to adhere, and trying not to push the middle down so that I don't flatten my dome. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other middle piece and just lay it down, and then I'll put my bigger piece on top of it to just kind of create a little structure and stability for that. And then I'm going to put the smallest one on top of the large dome, and this will just create some dimension so that we'll have some hydrangeas popping up higher than the other. And the dome also creates to where you can glue them like on the side, and you'll just kind of have a very dimensional hydrangea scene. So I'm just going to lay that aside and kind of let that dry, and then I'm going to take my leaves out, and I'm going to bring in some forest moss, I think, and I'm going to just add some dimension to the leaves just so that they, you know, have a little bit more dimension to them. I'm just going to go across, I think, one side of all of the leaves and just kind of add a little bit of dimension and just kind of make the leaves a little bit more interesting. And then I got to clean up my mess so that I can begin working on the rest of the card. So I'm just going to bring some alcohol, just spray that down, and we'll just clean it up. And then we can begin assembling. Now I'm also going to crease my leaves around my tweezers, just pinching them together so that they will have some dimension. They won't just be laying flat. And there is some etched detail on that, so you will have that. And so I'm just pinching them around there. So I'll just pinch the last 2 or 3 of these, and then we'll start arranging them around our little mounds. So I'm just going to kind of arrange them and tuck them in. This first one I think I glue on top, then I tuck the rest of them in. It doesn't matter because the flowers are going to cover them all up. And that mound moved a little bit, so I'm going to add some more glue to it and make sure it's good and adhered. And we'll just start arranging these leaves kind of around there. And then when I get ready to put the flowers on there, we'll just kind of cover up the areas where I've got them stuck down. And we'll just tuck all these in. And I think I actually cut more leaves than what it called for, because I knew I was going to do 2 mounds, so I did cut more than what was on the die. Each of the dies tell you how many times to cut each one out. I think you cut 3 of the the petals, per mound, and then I think 2 of the leaves per mound. When I say leaves, I mean the die, the leaf die. And then 1 of the mounds per, obviously, floral arrangement. So I think there are 10 floral elements on that die. So if you cut it 3 times, you've got 30 per mound. So it's a lot of pieces, but it does come together nicely. Now I've just grabbed some balls or beads, and I'm going to put it in the center. I'll wind up putting all my flowers down and then adding the beads later. So I first thought I was going to just put a bead in there, and then I decided I'll get all the flowers laid down, and they'll, give them time to adhere, and then I'll come back in with the little balls and put them in the center. You don't have to do that, but I just thought it would add to it. It'll be really, really full with just the florals on there, but I just thought a little bit of beads would kind of add a little shine to it and give the centers of the flower, a focal point. So I'm just going to get all these laid down. I think I'll just really speed this up because it's going to take a minute to get everything laid down. Okay, so we got all of our flowers laid down, and now I'm just going to bring in this frame. And I wanted to pop it up, so I put some foam tape on it. And I'm going to have to finagle it quite a bit to get it laid down on here just because I've got my leaves overlapping. But I can get it laid down. It just takes a minute, and I kind of have to struggle with it because I get it started a little bit crooked. But I'm just going to tuck those leaves in and then kind of wiggle it in there and try to get it lined up. But I just thought, popping it up would add a little bit more dimension and kind of a little shadow area around the frame. So I decided to do it that way. I could have just kept the panel all in one piece and just laid it down right at the beginning, but I just wanted the dimension for it. So I'll just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle until I get it where I want it. And I'm pulling it close to me so I can see what I'm doing. And we'll get this laid down on there. I just pulled part of the release tape off so that I could easily move it around. So there we have all of our focal point laid down on there. We've got our frame, and I think it looks pretty good. Now I just need to get a sentiment. And I was thinking about a Better Press sentiment that I have. So I'm just going to bring in my Better Press, and I've got a scrap piece of that cotton paper. You don't waste that paper. You keep every little bit of it. So I'm going to use it to bring in one of these floral sentiments. I think this is, I'll link it in the description box below. I think it's part of the Garden Botanical. There's a bunch of floral phrases. And I'm just going to use one that will fit across the top and press it. So we'll just get it lined up. And happiness is to have flowers in both hands, I think, is what it says. And I'm going to grab some ink and just get it inked up and pressed, and then we'll have our sentiment ready. I think the ink I used was called Mulberry, and I thought it had a nice purple hue to it, so I thought it would work really nice with it. Now here you're going to get to see the mess that I have surrounding me because I'm zooming out so that you can see the Spellbinders 6, and you can see how I just have set everything off to the side out of the view of the zoomed in camera, and so you get to see what it's like to make a video. You just kind of move everything to the side while you're making the video and just create a real mess. So I'm going to grab the die and get it laid down on there. Then we'll get it die cut out. And this will pretty much finish up our card. So you can see I've got my little scout over there, and I've got my little basket with my inks for my Better Press and just all the little scraps and tools and everything that I use. I just kind of threw off to the side. When I stopped the video and I saw this, I was like, oh no. But, it's reality. So I thought, I'll just leave it in and kind of show you the mess. And I'm looking for some foam tape at the moment. And so I'm just going to pop this up, and we'll get this sentiment laid down on there. And that'll finish up our card. And I think it turned out beautiful. It's a lot of little die pieces, but lots of fun and great results. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.